And Hilton, the man in motion. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Looking to throw. Prescott rolling to his right. And he's taken down here by the Saints. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Here's 2nd and 10. The slot man in motion right. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. He's got room at the 30. Touchdown, Cowboys! Michael Gallup, 52 yards. And the Cowboys will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Well, they spoke about the importance of getting off to a good start, and they're on their first drive, Charles, into the end zone for the touchdown.
And what an advantage for them. They're already clicking one drive in, didn't need to wait to get up to full speed. We had heard about the extra time they put in with each other, trying to learn each other's skills, what they like, the whole deal, and it paid off early in this one. I would expect them to keep firing on the next drive and keep that connection going.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
3rd and short yardage. Winston. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now a give here to Pollard. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Here's Pollard again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Trying to run forward with Pollard, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it, but it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would touch.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Cowboys have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Play action now. Winston. Sliding out of the pocket. Completing it to the right side. Johnson. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
A first down throw for Winston. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. And Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first two drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 36, Prescott. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan, that is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton, finding room at midfield, and he'll be brought down at the 27. A big play here for Dallas, and even 40 yards. Hilton goes in motion right. Prescott looks to throw on first. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. Down inside the 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
They go play action. Winston. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Off the play fake, Winston. Again, it's Johnson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Going with their tight end on 4th. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. They'll send Hilton in motion right. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Play clock down to 0. And this is not the way to start a drive. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Hilton goes in motion right. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Steps away to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield. And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. 3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pass caught by Olave. What a grab. He's at the 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Olave in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, a full half to be played. So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Now Pollard. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone and tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game, and to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chris Olave. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. They'll turn to Kamara. And he will get into the end zone. So that shaves 2 more off the deficit as they now trail by 5. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And the catch made by Hilton. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's Prescott. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. Yeah, maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jarvis Landry. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front. Dennis Allen going to go for 2 here. He's leaving his offense out on the field. They'll turn to Kamara. And they are 3 for 3 on two-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. So the offense back out now, coming off its first interception of the game the last time out, trying to reestablish some momentum here, Charles. But they're trailing defensively. Maybe these guys smelling the blood in the water a little bit.
Yeah, I think that they probably are. But what they need to do right now is just make sure they don't force the action too much themselves. They've got them on the run a little bit. You just want to be in a position where if they make another mistake, you're there to capitalize on it and take it away from them.
A first down throw for Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick six.
I think that's a great observation too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate that those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for two. They'll turn to Kamara. And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. The defense left him with nowhere to go, and the try for two is denied. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Throwing again on second down. Prescott. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Prescott now. And he'll go right back to Lamb. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. To the air again, Prescott. He'll get this to Elliott. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, Don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Desperation time. Prescott on fourth. He finds his man complete. That's Schultz. So this offense able to convert on fourth, and now a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10. Dak swinging this out quickly to Lamb. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the 31, Prescott. Another one to CeeDee Lamb. He's got it. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now Prescott. This is caught. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. Up the middle. Here's Elliott. And he takes this one into the end zone. And all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
A big mistake in that spot. You got to let it go 10.
They didn't give themselves a chance. They had an opportunity, touched it first. Now they're in a really bad spot.
Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. 2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Now Winston. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, partner, this defense now with multiple interceptions in this game, but this time they say turnabout is fair play because, remember, they had a pick 6 on the other side, and now they get a pick 6 of their own. Yeah, they actually added to some of their nice play throughout this ball game. A good effort by them to secure another interception on this one. A better effort to take it all the way back for 6. And how about an exceptional effort to match their opposition's pick 6 from earlier in this game. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick six.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Winston. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
And that's caught inside the 30. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. Big plays back and forth just continue. Both offenses excelling.
And I hear the excitement in your voice while you're calling this game. This hurts my soul as a defensive player, watching these teams go up and down the field and put points on the board.
Do me a favor the rest of the way. Sit back, relax, and just appreciate the offensive dominance that's going on out here.
I'll give it a shot.
And he gets it inside the